In this episode of Structural Sense, we're going to talk about the harsh reality of weight loss. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be true. So don't go anywhere. Welcome, everybody, to episode 10 of the Structural Sense podcast. As always, I'm at Steve Sansford. He's at Ryan from work. And today, Ryan is going to give us the truth. The real truth, the harsh reality about weight loss. I'm going to sit here quietly and take good notes because I could probably use a little bit of work here myself. But he's going to lay it out for us. Just before he gets started, if you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, please do so now. It helps us out a lot. We really appreciate it. You're not going to miss any of Ryan's other upcoming harsh reality episodes, which I think there's going to be more than one. So with that, buckle your seatbelts. And Ryan, talk to us about weight loss.
Okay, so the harsh reality about weight loss. I would say the first thing, it's a journey. This is going to take time, right? So no matter what it is, if you want to lose weight and it's a significant amount, it's going to take time. The other thing that people don't realize too is this is what I hear all the time in the gym, right? When I used to work at a corporate gym, I heard this everywhere. I'm on this diet. I'm on this diet. I'm doing this diet. I'm doing this, and this now. It's never about a diet because diets
don't work.
They don't work, right? We talked about that in one of our other episodes. I think it was number 2 or
early on,
3.
I think episode 2, we talked about
We were talking about it, and I said, I simply said to Steve, I said, what do you think about when you think diet? And he said, they never work. And I'm like, exactly, they don't work. It's not about a diet. It's about a lifestyle change, right? So big thing is if it took you 20 to 30 years to get there, it's gonna take some time to get you back, right? Initially, you're gonna get some great results depending on how hard you push, but you know what I always see is that last 10 pounds. They had a show. It's called the last 10 pounds.
Oh, yeah?
Because the last 10 pounds is the hardest to lose, right? Because it needs consistency, it needs proper nutrition, it needs everything in order for you to lose that last 10, right? So it's important that you realize that it's an absolute journey. This isn't something that's going to happen right away. The other thing that I get is, and if you want to look at our past episode of number 9, right, overworking or overtraining, right? A lot of people will go on this weight loss journey and they'll absolutely smash it. They'll change up everything so quickly that it comes to a point that they relapse. Because either one, they're not getting the results that they want, or they get quick results right away, and then from there expect quicker results.
Kind of like winning a lottery.
Yeah, right? Do you know what it comes down to winning a lottery? I actually heard this in the Compound Effect. Darren Hardy was talking about it, and he said that if you had every single person walk across the stage and say they won the lottery, it would take them, I think it was right, all the people that actually went for that certain lottery, what's the big one in the States again? The Mega Powerball, yeah. Right? It would take them 39 years or something stupid for every single one of those people to walk across the stage, and only one person wins, if that, right? So exactly what it comes down to it. If it took you that long to get there, right? Don't expect to just win the lottery. It's not how it works, right?
And when you do win the lottery, don't expect that money to last.
No.
It's going to go out faster than it came in.
Exactly, right? And that's what happens. You see it all the time, right? So that's part of the reason why diets don't work. Because if you're looking for a quick flip, guess what? You haven't changed anything here. And if you don't change anything here, then you're going to relapse and you're going to go back to the same thing. It's more important, or it's better to switch small things over time to create a massive result. So one thing I do with the majority of my clients is I focus on one small thing. So if they're at a point where it's hard for them to change, right? I'll say, okay, your goal for this month is to have protein with every meal. And that's the only thing we're going to focus on. Small change, right?
Little change.
And then next month I'll say, okay, your goal this month is to make sure that you're getting your water amount, right? And then I'll say, okay, so this month, right, we're going to make sure that you have 5 to 6 meals a day, right? 5 to 6 small meals a day. And what you'll find is every single month that you do that with a person, they adapt a small change. So at the end of a full year, again, it's a journey, right? At the end of a full year, they change 12 things. And from that, they can completely change their lifestyle, right?
So let me ask you a question. how much of the weight loss process happens over there?
10%.
Really?
I would say 10%.
10%. That's it.
I would say 10%.
10%. That's like that much.
Yeah.
If I want to lose 100 pounds, you're telling me 10% of it happens back there.
Yeah.
So where do I get the other
Right.
90?
Exercise, or sorry, no, not exercise. Nutrition, rest, lifestyle, right? You spend 3 to 4 hours a week in the gym. And if it's 3 to 4 hours and the week is 168 hours, that's
a lot of
like,
time not in the gym.
what is that in percentage? That's
I can't
like
do math.
2 or 3%.
Somebody do the math on that for us and leave it down there in the
Yeah.
comments. We appreciate the help.
Right.
We'll send you a
So-
t-shirt.
We could do that. But no, it's in all honesty, it's true, right? I mean, yeah, you can go smash out 70 hours in the gym, but it's not realistic. How many of us have that amount of time to go spend 70 hours sitting here and exercising, right? And it's going to cause some negative effects. You're going to overtrain. You're going to, you'll probably get some adrenal fatigue, right? And then from there, you'll run into more injuries, right? You have to live, and it's important to fit it into your lifestyle. Right? You shouldn't have to change your whole lifestyle to fit around the gym, right? So that's important as far as that. And, it is nutrition, right? They say abs aren't made in the gym, they're made in the kitchen.
And I would agree with that. We were looking for some ideas to round this one out, and we talked to one of the other trainers that operates out of the gym here.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked her, harsh reality about weight loss, what's the first thing that comes to mind? She said, energy in, energy out.
Yep.
When I heard her say that, it made me think that you've got to reduce the energy coming in. So there's some things that you're going to have to eliminate. I hate to tell you this, but you're done eating cake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's that saying. What's third pace? Well, there's this one saying in exercise, right, or in fitness, or in any team sport or sport overall. What does third place taste like? Cake.
tastes like cake.
Right? So if you want to be third place, eat cake. My big thing with that too is I'm a big believer also in the whole concept of, does discipline even exist, right? Because when it comes down to it in the fitness industry, right, when you're exercising, let's say for instance you want pizza, right?
I do like pizza.
It's your choice whether you want that pizza or not, right? So it has nothing to do with discipline. If you eat that pizza, it just means that you want pizza more than you want results.
Can I get just like a low-carb pizza or Weight Watchers pizza? Or...
I mean, you could, but again, Weight Watchers is a diet.
Isn't it
I am not big on diets. I hate them. I'll be completely honest with you because they
Don't
don't.
sugarcoat it for us. Tell us
right?
how it is.
They don't work, right? Instant gratification is what people look for in this world, and they don't realize that when it comes down to it, it's about consistency over time, right?
Yeah.
What they say in anything, right? Even when it comes down to personal development, small disciplines over time create massive result, right? So that applies to pretty much everything.
So what you're telling me is it took me 37 years to get to 360 pounds. I'm not going to get back away from that in 37 minutes.
No.
Or 37 hours.
Well, I mean, you're
Or probably even 37 weeks.
a pretty big dude, Steve. So
37 months?
yeah, that'd be
37 months is reasonable?
Yeah, but I mean, we're
37
gonna get
years
you
to
to
get
that.
here. 37 months to get back to where I should be. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, and even when it comes down to it, I mean, I have a lot of clients, for instance, that sit all day, right?
Oh.
So they develop issues with tight hips, they develop issues with tight shoulders. If we have a factory worker, for instance, they run into repetitive strain injury, right? And issues like that. You have to realize, even in those situations, those need to be corrected, because if you don't correct those things, you're not going to get the results that you want. Right? I'm big on structurally balancing a person because it creates more mobility, creates them to be stronger, but at the same time too, lifespan increases. Right? So it's important to make sure that all of those things you work on as well. Results are one thing, but what are results if you can't live longer?
All right, Ryan, that's good stuff so far. So if you had to break it down, make it dead simple for all of us slow people out there, the harsh reality about weight loss in 2 to 3 words, what is it?
It's hard,
It's hard.
or it's a journey.
There you go. It's hard, and it's a journey. It's going to take time, and it's not going to be easy.
No. Right. I've had my own situations where, I like to play guinea pig with myself.
Mhm.
And probably when we started these videos, I was 189 pounds.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right? And that's because I'm a personal trainer and I can play around with myself, right? I like to enjoy myself, I'm not going to lie. But depending on the situation, I do like to go from a thicker me to a leaner, depending on the situation, right?
Yep.
I work with different goals, right? That's when you get to the area where I am, where exercise is more of a skill, it's important to switch things up to keep yourself motivated, right? And over the last 2 months or so that we've been doing this podcast, I'm now at 172 pounds,
Nice.
right? So I've leaned out a significant amount. And, a lot of it is knowing that, yeah, it takes time, it's hard, and you have to develop the skills and you have to develop the mindset in order for you to get the results that you want.
How hard is it at your level?
It's easier.
Easier?
It's easier because I have the skills, right? So just like anything else, we go to school for what, 20, 30 years of our lives?
Let's just say too long.
Yeah, 20 years of our lives, right? And we develop skills in school, right? Why do all of a sudden people think that weight loss is not the same, right? It's going to take time, not 20, 30 years, right? Depending on the person, obviously, but right, it takes time as a skill. It is a journey, right? And the big thing is to not get discouraged in the situation and to make sure that you push forward, right? One thing that we talked about in our last podcast was the whole concept of having a workout partner, right? So have someone with you, have people there that are there to encourage you, work with you, right? And from there, you'll get what you want.
So if we had to sum it up in just the 5 points that you made there, weight loss, the harsh reality, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a gym. Diets don't work. Energy in, energy out. That's one of the hardest things you'll probably ever do. I think that sums it up.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a mental change, right? Go at it.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Structural Sense, where Ryan tells us his opinion on the reality of weight loss. I know I got some good pointers out of that we're going to use because I can stand to drop a few pounds. So. Until then, we're going to keep working at it. You guys keep plugging into the podcast. We appreciate the support. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please hit that subscribe button down below. It helps us out for a lot. And we've got some exciting material coming up. One of our guest interviewees is going to be making a comeback to the show, talk about the updates in his career. I'm not going to spoil that for you now, so just subscribe so you don't miss it. Make sure you hit that like button. We appreciate the support. And until next time, I'm at Steve Sansford.
I'm at Ryan from Work.
He's at Ryan from Work. And remember, the mind must be right, or the body never will be. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.